packet, which is basically a abbreviated version of our audit and some samples. I'll begin by this opening statement. 1 year ago today, the Ohio Christian Alliance, with a network of citizens volunteers, began an investigative research of more than 40 boards of election, a combination of urban, rural, and suburban counties, requesting poll worker notes and instant reports from Election Day, November 6, 2012, presidential election. In response to reports of irregularities, problems at polling locations, and suspected voter fraud, the citizens audit was conducted by volunteers in counties across the state. Other citizens stepped forward to provide sworn statements, which are included in this report, detailing some of the problems that they experienced, including problems with voting machines, problems with provisional ballots, suspicious activity, and irregularities at polling locations. A number of problems came to light while volunteers were requesting information from various boards of election. It became apparent that there is no uniform reporting process for boards of elections. Each board has its own unique way of processing the issues and problems that are reported by the precinct poll workers. Some counties are very astute in providing a detailed memo sheet reprinted with the precinct indicated on each sheet so that the report can be easily processed as to where the occurrence took place. Some of the rural counties, however, have a very poor reporting process, and some counties provide no documentation at all, claiming that they did not retain records, i.e. Van Wert County. The poll worker notes tell a story from the citizens precinct workers who work the polls on Election Day. These reports are very helpful as they document what kind of problems occurred and how, if any, they were handled. Incident reports are written on the Secretary of State Form 450. These forms are used when issues rise to a higher level of concern. The form clearly states that it is to be forwarded to the Secretary of State's office. However, during the audit, we discovered that some counties, i.e. Medina County, chose not to forward them on to the Secretary of State, believing that they had handled the issues on a local level. The form clearly states, however, that it is to be forwarded to the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State's office cannot address what was not reported to them. It is our hope that the findings of this report will help legislators to address the issues through legislation, correcting some of the problems that exist currently with Ohio election laws, specifically provisional ballots, absentee voting, voter identification, Golden Week, and better training of poll workers. We have provided a list of recommendations that have been offered by citizens who have participated in this audit. It is our hope that this research and evidential material will be of benefit to the Secretary of State and legislators as they seek to address these issues and problems with Ohio election process. The men and women who take time out to work the polls exercising their civic duty are to be commended. Young people need to be encouraged to do their part and work the polls in coming elections. A public service campaign needs to be mounted to encourage more young people to participate in the elections process by working the election polls, and additional information not contained in this report is available on our website at ohioca.org. We will go over some of the recommendations that the Citizens Committee has put together a list, but at this time I'm going to have Representative John Becker, who's introduced several pieces of legislation,